What's up, people? So we're back with another one. I hope you all been staying safe and staying free and had a good week, ready for this weekend and enjoying that content. Now, this banger of a video I'm bringing to you all today is all about the three main rules to fighting whilst inside a prison. So let's get into it. So these three main rules you will not find out until you find yourself in a fight whilst inside a prison to what they are. So first up at number one on the list, we have clean yourself up. If you find yourself taking an L in a fight on the losing side and a man gets one up on you, you will be told by the person who had beat you up. And if you try to just bust onto the wing after just having a fight and not cleaning yourself up, prisoners will tell you as well, go and clean yourself up. Now the reason for behind this rule is because even though you may not snitch and run to the screws personally yourself to tell them that you had got beaten up, they can still bring charges to the person that you had been fighting or punishments, and all they need to do is just look at the cameras on the wings to see what cell you had went into and had come out of, and they could piece the rest up. They don't really need you to do nothing more. Now, number two, we have snitching. So snitching is a big thing inside a prison. If you see someone getting beat up, or if you get beat up yourself and someone gets seriously injured, there's no snitching. Even if you end up on a hospital bed, worst case scenario, with life-threatening fucking injuries though, as one thing that people do not like inside of prison is a grass, a rat, a snitch. And if you end up snitching after getting your ass beaten in a fight inside a prison, you're gonna find yourself having a very, very hard time inside the prison, and even at that, you're gonna get yourself seriously hurt. And if you don't get yourself seriously injured, you're gonna be shipped to protective custody with all of the pedophiles, the rapists, all of them dirty, disgusting people, or you'll be shipped to a new prison. Period. Point blank, though. Hey, now at number three, we have there's no jumping in a fight. So majority of fights inside a prison you will see on social media. Yes, you do get the odd occasional couple of fights on the wing, but if you actually look at the video properly and carefully enough, you will see it's always a one-on-one fight, unless it's on some bullshit gang shit. But most of the time, when it comes to fighting inside of prison, you can't jump in unless it's on a wing anyway. And most time, man don't like to fight on the wing that are smart because of cameras and catching charges and punishments and screws. It's normally done in the cell, which makes fighting inside a prison way more dangerous, as when you go into inside of that cell and you start getting it cracking with that person you're going one-on-one on, it's just you and that person with that cell door being locked from the inside though, and ain't nobody on the wing that can run in there and save you apart from the screws. And the screws ain't going to know, because everyone on the wing knows what's going down in the cell, but ain't nobody letting off and letting the guards know and that. And the only time when they are going to find out is when you come out and see one of the people that did fight inside of that cell coming out fucked up though. So with this being said, like I said, with the third rule, with jumping in, it's more of a respect thing. If you notice as well, if you've ever been to prison fighting one-on-one, and I kind of rate it because it's like back in the old days, you fight a man, it's one-on-one, and that's what prison's like. As no one's gonna rate you to say that, okay, you beat a man's ass in a fight 3-1 with your gang. Ain't nobody rating you like that. It's more of a respect and a rating thing for a man to fight a man one-on-one though. Now, not only is there multiple reasons to how fighting inside a prison is so dangerous, not only, like I said, the cell doors get locked from the inside out, but there is no rules to fighting apart from these three rules though. So if you find yourself getting into a madness inside a prison and a man's got a weapon and you don't, it doesn't matter if he's got a little shank, he's got hot water, whatever it is he's got waiting for you or what you've got, and they don't, hey, it is what it is. It gets cracking though, and that's true life talks. And this is where, you know, fighting inside a prison is not something to be playing with inside a prison. As when you're fighting inside a prison, you are fighting for your life and survival though, because in cell fights, as I've seen, I've heard man's head being bust off of the fucking sink. I've seen man of my celly fight this big dude, 6'2" white guy called Bert, and he had broke off a toilet seat that had the wooden bits on either side, and he took it off like and beat a man's ass with it though. So there's no rules whatsoever when it comes to fighting inside a prison, and there's no one that can save you. No screws, none of your buddies, none of your brethren, none of that. Now, with this being said, there is rules inside the prison, but it don't come with no rule book when you go to prison though. These rules that I be making videos on for you all to take information out of is all stuff that you learn whilst you're inside the prison as time goes along, and you know, whilst you're in there. As really, they should do a rule book inside a prison. I think it would help a lot of people that maybe would be going to prison for the first time. Like, another example, when you're inside a jail, you just can't jump lines like that when it comes to food and certain things, car you're gonna cause problems. And it's like school. There's rules to this shit, but then there's no rules, if that makes sense. And only until you get yourself into the prison world is when you find out to what these rules are. Now, I remember the very first fight in my category A prison I nearly got into. This little YG had come from a youth offender, and he was wanting to get it cracking on the wing, and one of the old boys was telling me, no, don't get it cracking on the wing. And I never thought nothing of it, because I'm getting ready to write off this dude's face, and he saying, nah man, the reason why he wants you to do that is cause more time, the cameras are there, you're gonna get wrapped, they're gonna ship you out and all of this mad thing. So what you do is, as I got taught, you open the cell door. So I opened this dude's cell door. Now, he was a dusty ass, disgusting guy. He was a kind of dude that man had to tell him go and jump in the bath and the shower and shit. He's one of them kind of dudes, stinky, dusty kind of guy. So I bust open his cell door and said, come on, cool, let's get it cracking. He weren't feeling it, and I said, it's kind of dusty in there, let's go to my cell, which was only 3 cells down. And I bust open my cell door and said, come, let's go, let's do it. My cell's a lot more cleaner than yours, as I said, in front of the whole fucking wing. And he wasn't down though. And fighting on the wing, when it comes to people that you see inside a jail, they don't give a fuck. Them man could be having 5, 10 years, 5 months. They don't care about catching punishments, and that's the reckless ways. The smarter ones love fighting in the cell, and more of the savages like fighting in the cell, because you have more time to fight in a cell before a man can ever get saved. I do have to emphasize that shit. Just to think that you could be seriously injured in a fight, and these screws have no knowledge of it. They're all down at right at the end of the wing, behind their desks, on their phone, yapping to their co-workers, not doing their job. And there's you getting your head battered and getting smashed in or shanked up, whatever you want to call it. And that shit happens inside the jail though. And like I said, there's no rules to fighting apart from these simple 3 little rules. And these are the only little rules that have the stability inside a prison for the fights though. Because if it wasn't for these 3 rules here, there would be fights on a daily basis. Now, yes, there is fights on a daily basis, but mainly on a Friday, as people are due money for canteen, they're due money for drugs that they've not paid back, items they've not paid. But usually most men stick to the prison rules, which stop the fighting on a day-to-day business. And if fights do go down, it's called a man's ego, or a man didn't like a man, or whatever. Cause when it comes to fighting inside a prison, it's like school. Think of it this way. Well, not so much like school, but you know when a man does something and expose it for the rest of the man. That's why fighting on the wing ain't that, car everyone goes into lockup though. The whole wing will go into a lockup, just car you gotta have these screws pressing buttons, and they're all dashing down from other wings and shit, and it's a straight lock up for everyone though when it comes to a fight. So that's why I understand more time why a lot of people do like fighting inside of the cells too, because man need their, you know, free roaming activities. And do you know how many man would get pissed off because you man are fighting over some dumb petty shit, and man gotta go in bang up and miss out on free time though. And that's true life talks, man. But freedom is priceless though, people. Hey, so I hope you all have enjoyed the video. If you have ever had a fight yourself and you've experienced it inside a prison personally firsthand, or have seen fights from your experience, drop a comment and let me know and share your story too. I hope you all have enjoyed the video. Do stay safe, people. Like the video if you like it, and dislike it if you don't. And that's true life talks. So everyone stay safe and stay free.